It's when you're mediocre and are missing a bunch of guys, you're mediocre in the first place and then missing a bunch of guys, and you're playing the hottest team in baseball that did the opposite of you at the deadline. They went out and got Josh Naylor. They went out and got Suarez, and they already had really good pitching. Shouldn't be a surprise when you get swept by said better team.
Speaking of post-deadline, I honestly think that's the most fun I've had watching a Cardinals game on television since the All-Star break.
Oh yeah,
that was despite the fact that the 3 for 22 on the runners in scoring position was an extremely annoying moment. Everyone decided they didn't want to score when there was bases loaded. Why not? Who cares? Just absolutely insane game. It was legitimately a fun game to watch, despite it being an ugly game overall. And that just hasn't been true for a lot of Cardinals games in the second half here. Has been true for a lot of Mariners games, and credit to them. If
you weren't able to stay up, bases loaded, nobody out in the fourth, no runs, second and third, one out in the sixth, no runs. It was just it was a non-hit.
The Mariners had one too.
Yeah, right.
It was in the eighth or ninth.
Yeah, they did not do well with runners in scoring position either. But just a rough game for most of the Cardinals. Although Michael McGreevy again shows that he's capable of being a major league starter. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. He didn't walk anybody, struck out 4, and you'll take that every single time. And Thomas Saggese, 4 for 5. Here comes Thomas. Who needs Mason Wynn when Thomas Saggese's going 4 for 5 every night?
Okay, so
one night.
Let's tangent here for a minute.
Okay.
Because we had a lot of conversations about the depth on this team, the young players on this team, because of the runway and things like that this season. And very quickly, we all kind of shuttered Thomas Saggese off to the corner. It was like, you're a nice little bench player, and that's what you're going to be.
Yes.
And was that premature? Did we overlook some latent potential there? Did we jump too early to just say you are a garage, you're garage Skip Schumacher, and that's all you will be?
It might happen. It has happened. When Matt Carpenter came up, they thought he was a utility guy, and wound up finishing top 10 in the MVP 3 times. When Paul DeYoung came up, they thought, remember, he was a second baseman when he came up, and they told him, we want you to play as many positions as possible because essentially we look at you as a utility guy. He becomes an all-star shortstop that hits 30 home runs a couple of times. So you don't always nail it when you evaluate a player, and the Cardinals clearly have not nailed evaluating players. So maybe Saggese will be better than a lot of them thought he would be. However, that being said, I don't think he's a better player than Brendan Donovan. I don't think he's a better player than Wynn, and I hope he's not a better player than J.J. Weatherholt. Not that I don't hope he's not good, but if Weatherholt is what he's supposed to be and Saggese is better than him, then you really got something. But if Saggese is what he's supposed to be and he's better than Weatherholt, then you got problems with Weatherholt.
That's fair.
So, and I think Saggese will be a nice guy to play second, third, short. However, I wonder next year you got a 26-man roster, okay? And you're probably going to go with 3 catchers because they really like Pozo as a pinch hitter. So you probably have the 3 catchers. Then you have your 9 position players. So let's just assume that your 9 position players are, with the hope that they can get rid of Arenado, Gorman, Wynn, Donovan, Contreras, okay? And then you've got 2 more catchers, and then your outfield / DH. Left field / DH, Herrera, and Burleson. Center field, probably VS2. Right field, Jordan Walker. So now we've got 9 plus the 2 catchers, plus you need an extra outfielder, whoever that might be. And then Weatherholt's on the team. So all of a sudden the math starts to work against Thomas Saggese. If Weatherholt is going to be your super utility guy, maybe he's your backup shortstop. I don't know. But I think having 3 catchers kind of works against Thomas Saggese being even on the roster. If Weatherholt is here on the roster.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if he put together what he's doing here in the second half and then he can't even make a spot on the roster.
Let me make sure I get this right. 3, and then you have 5 infielders with Weatherholt being one of them. That'd be 8. And then you need at least 4 outfielders. That'll get you to 12. And then you're going to have either a 5th outfielder or Saggese.
Jeremy Hodge, Chip Carey said they struck out over 40 times. I don't like to disagree with somebody who dresses better than me. It puts you in bad positions to be dunked on later. But Baseball Reference has it as 37 over the series. 2 games with 14, 28, and then a game with 9, 37.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty.
It's been pretty bad.
You need Donovan back in there. And now you lose Wynn, although he was replaced by JC, who had the 4 hits. And that's one of the reasons that Arenado will be back in there, is that he doesn't strike out as much, and they just don't want as many strikeouts. But yeah, they strike out a lot. Well, they have struck out a lot lately. If you look, though, at the overall strikeout rates in baseball, Cardinals are right in the middle of the pack, if I'm not mistaken.
They are. There was the chat the other day. I had a baffling moment where everyone was like, I don't understand how they're only like 17th in strikeout rate, because it feels like all I see them do is strike out.
Yeah. And that's how bad it is with a lot of teams in Major League Baseball. So the Angels have struck out 1,434 times, almost 100 times more than the Rockies, who are in second. The Cardinals have struck out a total of 1,185 times. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 teams have struck out more than the Cardinals have.
Yeah. So, I mean, that puts them at a in the top half. And again, it also, if I feel like if you isolated post All-Star break, it would probably be a little bit more
probably
middle of the road or bottom of the half, because I mean the strikeout rate has been terrible.
Yeah, it has been
over the last month and a half. This is an offense that would have issues and would disappear for a game or two in June. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's obviously entire series, all 3 games this series, we lamented huge offensive issues. The offense is full on sputtering.
Well, and you look, you're playing Scott a lot. You're playing Walker a lot. You're playing Gorman a lot, who strikes out. You've got a team. Pajes has a tendency to strike out now and then. You've got a team that has a tendency to do that. Let's see. The fewest strikeouts in Major League Baseball are. I don't know why I can't read this. Here we go.
Padres.
Probably the Padres. Wow, the Blue Jays have only struck out 982 times. The Blue Jays have struck out 500 fewer times than the Angels.
I didn't know, but Donnie Bichette is having a...
Bo Bichette?
Bo Bichette. Donnie Bichette's obviously his father. Bo Bichette having one hell of a season.
Is he a Yankee or a Dodger next year?
Feels more like a Yankee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good... I think feels more like a Yankee, maybe just because he's over there in the East already.
Yeah. Padres fewest strikeouts in the National League with 1,037. So, yeah, it's an issue. I've just accepted that. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And if baseball's management people aren't going to care about strikeouts, to see my team have a chance to win, I would prefer that they put the ball in play, because I think you have a much better chance to actually get on base if you hit the ball than if you don't hit the ball. But that's not something that I can concern myself with, because they don't care about it anymore for the most part. But the teams that do care about it, their fans are generally having fun. The Blue Jays are going to the playoffs, right? They've struck out the fewest times. The Royals are in the playoff hunt. The Padres are going to the playoffs. Then you have the Marlins. That's kind of surprising. But then the Cubs have a chance to make the playoffs. Brewers are going to the playoffs. Astros are going to the playoffs. Those are the teams that have the fewest strikeouts in Major League Baseball.
We were talking about Nolan Gorman yesterday and how players aren't like just who they are already at 25 years old. It's just fascinating me. I'm looking at Bo Bichette now because that I was looking at the batting averages a few days ago, and that 311 jumped out. I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize Bo Bichette was cranking it like that this year.
Yeah, leads the league in hits. Right?
He's dropped. So his strikeout percentage in his career